Hello, boys and girls. How are you today? I hope that you are fine. You're welcome to Miss Rachael's Learning Corner. Let us now welcome our friends. Welcome, friends. Welcome, our friends. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. We are now going to sing our hello song because we would like to know if you are well. Hello, how are you? Hello, how are you? Hello, how are you? How are you today? I'm fine, I hope you too. I'm fine, I hope you too. I'm fine, I hope you too. I hope you too today. I hope that you're all fine. Today I am so excited because we are going to learn a story and we are going to learn a lesson from this story. So sit nicely and listen to Miss Rachael. Story, story, story come. Close your eyes. Ta-da! Open. Bzzz. Catch. I'm carrying home my baby bumblebee. Won't my mommy be so proud of me? I'm carrying home my baby bumblebee. Bumblebee. Ouch! It's tummy. What do? I'm gonna squash it. I'm squashing out my baby bumblebee. Won't my mommy be so proud of me? I'm squashing out my baby bumblebee. Bumblebee. Ew, look at my hands. They are so yuck. What do? I'm gonna wipe it off. I'm wiping off my baby bumblebee. Won't my mommy be so proud of me? I'm wiping off my baby bumblebee. Bumblebee. Look at my hands. They are all clean and my mommy's gonna be proud of me. And here is the story. The Pigeon and the Bee. Everybody sit nicely, sit nicely. The story is coming. Very many years ago, there lived a small bee in the forest. Can you see the small bee? I can see a small bumblebee. She lived in the forest. Can you see the beautiful forest with the trees? And there is a pond. That is where the bee used to live in. And you know what? She was very naughty. And every time the small bee was up to something not so good, she was always thinking about doing funny things, even when her mommy told her not to. One day, the small bee's mommy, who is this? The mother to the small bee, told her, "Oh, my small baby bee, please stop being naughty because one day you will get yourself in trouble." Can you see her? Can you see the mother telling the small bee to stop doing what? To stop being naughty, because one day she could get herself in trouble. She never listened to her mother. Instead, she flew away away to the sunshine because she used to love flying in the sunshine. And where did she go? Let us see where she went. Look where she went. She went to visit her friends. And who was her best friend? The red rose. The red rose was her best friend. And she also loved the white lily. Can you see the white lily? And the red rose. And who is this? The bumblebee. She went to see her friends. Inside the big forest, there was a very big pond. Can you see a very big pond with a lot of water? Inside the forest, there was a very big pond where many animals used to come and drink water. One day, the naughty bee went to fly over the pond. Can you see her flying over the pond? Yes, and her mother had told her not to fly there. As she was flying over the pond, the bee saw herself in the water and she was very happy. Can you see her moving close to the pond? She was very happy. She said to herself, I will fly nearer so that I can see how my wings will look when I spread them over the pond. And that is what she wanted to do. But suddenly she remembered that her mother had told her not to fly near the pond. But she said to herself, I will just go nearer the pond, and when I flap my wings and see myself, I will fly back home. So the naughty bee went nearer to the pond and she flapped her wings. And she went nearer and nearer. As she was flapping her wings, she saw herself and she was very happy. And her wings were shining bright. But what happened? As she was just enjoying herself, she fell down inside the pond. Can you see? Oh, can you see the small bee? She fell down in the pond. And what was she doing? She thought that she was having fun and then go back home. But that did not happen. She fell down. And remember, her mother had told her what? Not to go near the pond. She tried to flap her wings and get out of the pond, but she could not. Can you see her? What is she doing? She is trying to flap her wings and get out of the pond to save herself, but she could not. You know what? Near the pond, there was a pigeon which stayed up on a tree. And when the pigeon looked down on the pond, it saw a small bee struggling to get out of the pond. And the pigeon said, I must help the small bee to get out of the pond because I do not want the small bee to drown inside the water. So the pigeon picked a leaf on a tree. Can you see the pigeon? What did he do? He picked a leaf on a tree and he threw it inside the pond. He told the bee, climb on the leaf and you will be safe. Can you see? The bee is climbing where? On the leaf. And who threw the leaf inside the pond? It was the pigeon. Why? It wanted to help the small bee get out of the water, and the small bee was able to climb on the leaf. Soon, when the small bee's body was dry, she flapped her wings and she flew to where the pigeon was. Can you see? She was seated here on the leaf, and then when she was dry, she flew up to where the pigeon was. She must have been very happy. Can you see the small bee talking to the pigeon? Do you know what the small bee told pigeon? Brother Pigeon, thank you for saving my life. You know I would have died. One day, when you will need me to help you, I will help you because you have saved my life. The pigeon smiled. Can you see the pigeon smiling at the bee? He told the bee, please do not go near the pond again because you might drown again. And the small bee was very happy and she flew back to her home. Many days passed and the pigeon was sleeping on top of a branch of a tree. Can you see the pigeon? Where is it sleeping? On top of a branch of a tree. One day, there was a bird hunter who was looking for some pigeons. Do you know why he was looking for some pigeons? To go and make some yummy, delicious meal. Can you see the bird hunter? Do you know who he's peeping at? He's peeping at the sleeping pigeon. Shh. The bird hunter came nearer to where the pigeon was sleeping. Can you see the bird hunter? What is he doing? He is still looking at the pigeon, and the poor pigeon is sleeping, and the pigeon does not know that the hunter is looking for him. What happened? Can you see the hunter? He took off his big gun and he started aiming at the sleeping pigeon. Oh, do you want the pigeon to die? I also don't want the pigeon to die because it saved the small bee's life. Let's see if the hunter is going to kill the pigeon. Oh, the bee was flying on that side where the pigeon was sleeping. And see the look at the bee's eyes. Can you see it? The small bee remembered how the pigeon had helped her when she was stuck inside the pond. And she said to herself, I must help my friend Pigeon because he helped me out when I was in trouble. The small bee flew very fast to where the hunter was, and it stung him on his hand, and the hunter screamed, "Ouchie! It's so painful!" He dropped off his gun. Look at the hunter. What is he doing? He is screaming. And why is he screaming? The small bee stung him, and it is so ouchy. And he dropped his gun on the ground, and so he could not hunt the pigeon again. Oh, the pigeon heard the scream of the hunter, and he woke up. And when he woke up, he saw the hunter screaming. And who is this here? The tiny small bee. The pigeon remembered everything, and he understood why the hunter and the bee are on the same ground. So the pigeon flew all the way to where the small bee was. Can you see them together? Yes, they look so happy together. And the pigeon told the small bee, "Thank you, small bee, for saving my life." The small bee smiled at the pigeon and she told the pigeon, "You know what, pigeon? You saved my life one day when I was in danger. When I was stuck inside the pond, you did not let me to drown. You helped me out. That is the same thing I have done today. When you do good, you shall find good too." So the pigeon flew away. And this time, the pigeon was very happy. Why? The small bee saved the pigeon's life. And from that time, they became best of friends. And they continued to help each other whenever one of them was in trouble. Wow! What a wonderful story of the pigeon and the bee. Did you like the story of the pigeon and the bee? I loved it very much. Why? I have learned that it is good to listen to our parents. Therefore, I will always listen to my parents when they tell me to stop doing something and that thing is wrong. I should not do it because I might get myself into trouble. What else did I learn from the story? I learned that it is always kind to help our friends. When I find my friend in trouble or in danger, I should not just walk away. I should help them because it is very nice. Let us sing. Helping hands, helping one another. I do all I can with my helping hands. I should never hurt or fight or make someone unhappy. Do some good and make things right with my helping hands. Yes, with our helping hands, you can make everything right. Wonderful. I hope you loved the story today. And please remember that it is always good to listen to our parents, and it is always nice and very kind to help one another. Thank you for listening to Miss Rachel. I hope to see you in another lesson where in Miss Rachel's Learning Corner. Bye.